friends! Happy Wednesday! If you haven't met me yet before, my name is Miss Paredes and I worked at Kingsbury this year as a 3rd and 2nd grade ESL teacher with Miss Gonzalez. It's nice to meet you if I haven't met you yet. To catch you up on a little bit of what we've been doing, I have been making and posting videos of me teaching little lessons. And if this is your first one, welcome. First thing I always do is I tell you a little bit about what I've been doing here at home. In these past couple days, I haven't been doing that much because, as you know, the weather has been kind of bad. Rainy, stormy, so just kind of hanging out in the house. While I've been here in the house, I've made something really cool and I would like to show it to you. This is called embroidery. It's where you take string and a needle and you poke it through this fabric and you make this nice design. I wonder if you know who this is a picture of. If you do, I would love to hear it. So this is really all that I've been doing the last couple days. And now I would love to jump into what we're going to learn today. The last couple lessons we've been learning about this new idea that maybe you've heard of or maybe you haven't, called an idiom. I have it written up here for you. So what I'm gonna do, since we've already introduced kind of what an idiom is, how we use it, when and why, I'm going to kind of let you guys tell me a little bit of what you already know. And if you've never heard of this, why don't you go back and watch the other videos and I'll teach you. Okay. So, first thing that I'm going to remind you of is that an idiom is non-literal, which means it's something that you do not, which is why I drew this here, you do not understand or take word for word, okay? And you'll see up here that I have 4 different questions: what, how, why, and when, and I have covered the pictures that we drew last time. I'm going to pose each one, and you're going to try to think, what is an idiom again? And if you remember, I want you to shout it out, and then I'll show you the picture that we drew. Okay, let's start with what. So, what is an idiom? Do you remember? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think. What is an idiom? I hope you're shouting it out. Good. Did you remember? So an idiom is, let's look back at our picture. An idiom is an expression. It's something that you use in your speech or in your writing. So I drew a speech bubble and I drew something that we would write with. Okay? How do we use idioms? Think for 10 seconds, and if you know it, shout it out. Beautiful. Do you remember? So the way we use an idiom is we take something maybe boring that we were going to say and we just take that out and replace it with this expression that means the same thing but is a little more fun. Remember that I drew a puzzle piece because we can just replace or put in that idiom into our speech or our writing. Now, why do we use an idiom? 10 seconds, you think about it, shout it out if you know it, and then I'll show you my picture. Did you get it? Okay, let me show you my picture. We use idioms to make our speech more, can you finish my sentence? Exciting. Good. So I drew a bunch of like confetti that you would throw up in the air just because that's exciting. But we throw idioms in just to make our communication, our writing, or our speech more exciting. It just sounds more fun. Lastly, when do we use idioms? Think about it, shout it out if you know it, and then I'm going to show you the picture. Ready? 10 seconds. Did you get it? This one was our fun one. So we get to just sprinkle in idioms, which means that we can put idioms in kind of whenever we want. So that's why I do someone throwing sprinkles down. Okay? Now we don't use idioms all the time because that would sound too silly and maybe our speech would be too confusing. But we just sprinkle them in when it sounds about right. So I wonder and I hope that you got a lot of these correct. And if this was your first time, I hope this helped you. So today we're going to learn a new idiom because in the past videos we've learned 2 different idioms. Our first one was give me a hand, which meant, hey, I need help. And our second one, do you remember it? Shout it out if you do. You got it? It was hit the books, which meant to study hard. Now today we're going to learn a new one. I'm going to say it to you and then I want you to repeat it. Ready? I am all ears. You say it. Beautiful. Let's do it one more time just to practice. I am all ears. Your turn. Good. I wonder if you know what this is. Have you ever heard it before? Have you heard your mom or dad say it? A friend, a teacher? Hey, I'm all ears. Let me give you 2 scenarios, and I want you to think, listen to what I'm saying, and try to figure out what could I am all ears mean. The first scenario, I want you to imagine that you are at school with your friend, and you come up to your friend and you say, hey, something just happened. I have a story to tell you. And your friend looks at you and says, okay, I'm all ears. I wonder what I'm all ears means. Second scenario, are you ready? You're at school and your teacher told you to work with a partner to figure out an answer to a problem. You raise your hand and you say, teacher, I know the answer. Can I tell you? And your teacher says, okay, I'm all ears. I wonder if you figured out what it means. If you have, shout it out. I'm listening. Okay? So, I'm all ears means I am listening. It means I'm listening. Is that what you got? I wonder if it is. So what we are going to do right now is we're going to take some time and we are going to spend some time drawing what our idiom means. I need you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. So go ahead, you can pause the video or I'll wait a little bit. Go do that now. All right, I hope you're back. So, what you're going to do on your piece of paper is exactly what I'm going to do up here. Why don't you start by writing the idiom, I am all ears, on the top of your paper. I'll give you a second to do that. Ready? Now what you're going to do is draw a line down the middle of your paper, and we're going to write literal and non-literal. I'm going to give you a second to do that. Good, are you ready? If you're not, just pause the video, finish your work, and then you can start when you're ready. Okay? So literal, remember that's something that you would take word for word. What would be the literal understanding of I am all ears? That would mean like my whole body is ears. That would be so silly. Let's draw that. So you draw while I draw, okay? I'm gonna draw a person. And they would be all ears. Do you see my drawing? If you're not done, again, pause the video, totally fine to finish your literal drawing of I am all ears. And when you're done, show me, I want to see. Oh, isn't that so silly? Okay, let's move on to the non-literal meaning. And let's put a nice big star by this one. Draw it with me, because you know that that's the correct meaning of I am all ears. So here, we're going to draw the non-literal meaning. Tell me again what it is. I wrote it right here. Good. It means I am listening. So in this one, I'm going to have you draw a picture of you when you're listening. Just be creative and think of a time when you listen. I'm going to draw. You draw at the same time. Ready? Do you see my drawing? I drew really big ears because that shows that I'm listening. Beautiful. So what I want you to do this week is think of a time when you can use this idiom with anyone around you. Instead of saying, oh, I'm listening, you can replace it and use this expression, I am all ears. Let's say your little sister is nagging you and saying, listen, listen, listen to me, I have a story. Instead of looking at her and saying, hey, I'm listening, what could you say? You could say, okay, I'm all ears. Beautiful. So that's my challenge for you next week, to practice using this idiom, I am all ears. And then on Friday, I'm going to post another video with one last idiom to learn. So in 2 weeks, we will have learned 1, 2, 3, 4 idioms, which is super cool. Then you can use them with your family and your friends. And next year when you go back to school, your teachers will be super impressed. So have a good couple days, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.